My name is Patrick Rockhill, and I have been a business consultant until recently when I started into my third startup. As a serial entrepreneur, I jumped onto a little bit of luck in the 90s, early 90s, with a software product that was enterprise-wide and applied to inbound call centers. And then continued to push forward on that. The product life cycle continued to last and grow until it's still in use today, but I sold that company 8 years ago. And then I went into a different product, which is more in the marketing automation area that I'm in now. And that one did very well in its pilot in the beta site companies, where we generated over $10 million of additional revenue for that company. It's just completely through automation. That is, a PC in a closet just churning away and bringing money in. But that doesn't even include websites. That had nothing to do with the web as you know it. It's a kind of a new technology for marketing automation. Now today I'm into a third area of entrepreneurism in a startup involving communications media and further automation and further expansion of media. Tomorrow's new definition of how the internet will be working, as soon as the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium working group concerning this new technology, completes its development. But there's enough said on that. That's what I've been doing, and that's what I do. Without marketing research, without research into what you're going to be doing, you're just relying on intuition. The purpose of market research is to gather enough of the correct data to reduce risk and make effective decisions. Marketing includes the distribution of ideas. And some of the best ideas, however, don't arrive until after you've completed a series of fundamental steps. These actions you take are vital to getting to a point where creativity can be used. Creativity is essential, but it really is best applied to specific steps downstream. There have been times when I thought, my ideas or my clients' ideas were fabulous. But the challenge is to discover the ideas of the people who should be buying the product, and then to make the product interesting and valuable to those people based on those ideas, and then to convert a portion of those into sales. So really, you just don't want to rely on your gut feeling to achieve success. Instead, you want to apply the proven principles and reliable methodologies of market research. Confirmation bias is the tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of your beliefs and theories. Well, this can be very expensive. Passion is vital, but it can cloud awareness. And marketing is about increasing the awareness of your target audience. Where there's no awareness of the problem, for example, you'd be marketing the problem. But where there's great awareness of your competition, then you're marketing your solution's product differentiation and unique selling proposition, because pretty much everybody you're approaching already knows what the product is and what it's trying to solve. So how are you different? And what kind of better deal are they going to get from your company and better delivery or service? The confirmation bias becomes a problem with your awareness, and this can prevent you from becoming aware of your target audience's awareness levels. There's a spectrum of awareness levels across all the people you might be able to market to and or sell, but unless you're aware of that, you really can't communicate with them. So to avoid confirmation bias, you get outside opinions. You go outside your circle. You get mentors. You hire advisors. And then you listen to them. The proper investments in time and resources to getting a clear message from utilizing other viewpoints than your own pays tremendously later when you start turning up the volume, and that is the money applied to outpouring your promotional message. And the bias will just skew that to the point of you going out of business if you don't watch out. The purpose of technology, methods, is to serve your greater purposes toward attaining your goals. So technology is important, but you don't want to get caught up in its complexities. Marketing technologies, the methods of marketing, have changed greatly in the last 15 years and will continue to change. But the basics of human communication, emotion, and response have stayed largely the same. So the principles of people engaging people spans decades. Basic human nature spans centuries. The fundamentals of these phenomena of how people respond to messages and how messages best get to people. Once you've incorporated this properly into your marketing plan, then no matter what technology comes along, no matter what kind of marketing channel is developed or created around you, you have the tools, the means to go ahead and do well in that, whether it's going to end up through social media, content marketing, analog, digital, mobile, the promotional materials themselves, the sales funnel, other parts of your business model. It's really all about properly managing these technologies from the viewpoint of the CEO compared to the viewpoint of the CTO or the people down in there in the trenches. There's really a 6M approach to market research, marketing, and so forth. And the 6 M's, you can see them like on two hands, is the ones that are mostly the brain power and cost your time and effort and creativity and then your good focus and intelligence are going to be mentors, the message, and the markets. And then the next 3 M's are going to be the money, the methods, and the metrics. And so whether you're starting from nothing or you're just trying to work out the launch of a product variation of just the color of something in a multinational company, these 6 M's pay off. You gather mentors, people who will challenge you, and what you do is you choose accomplished people and listen to them. And then you develop a message or messages necessary to get across to the people who should be buying your product. And then you determine the markets. Now, determining markets is an ongoing process that stays in balance with the other 5 M's. But finally, you have to get to where you know what causes the money to flow, who is going to influence that, and you know why. Finally, in the last 2, the methods, this is where you start pumping the money through the right methods and learn the reliability of today's marketing methods and take a CEO viewpoint of them. And then finally, the metrics. You've got to use metrics to steer your directions, your actions, and your results towards success. So the reason that this is important is because in today's fast-paced world, the entrepreneur needs to accelerate sales, and to do that has to accelerate trust, and to do that has to accelerate understanding. So the definition of survey alone traces back to early definitions from other languages and so forth of looking, seeing. The first thing to do is look around and see what you can see, whether it's simply looking at potential competitors, looking through Google searches. A really great exercise on any product you're about to launch is to take the keywords of the product, like what the product's called, how it's described, and look them up in the dictionary and trace down the first 2 or 3 popular definitions of that word, and you'll find a whole plethora of other words that can be bundled together in your cluster of words to describe or think with a product. But then among all those words, you have to start asking other people. And this is whether you start with mentors, who could just be the guy next to you, or it could be somebody who's really famous in their field or something, or anybody in between. You ask them. What you do is you develop a series of controlled questions so that as you ask, you get very methodical in your asking, and that way you have comparative data coming in on your answers. But really, surveying is the starting place of all of it, and it's so inexpensive just to start asking.